Good morning from Patty's Garage. This morning, we're picking up where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we had installed head gasket, head, rockers, torqued down all of the head bolts, and push rods and lifters have all been installed. So now we're to the point where we're going to do our first setting of the tappet clearances. So we want to adjust all of the tappets to the valves, and we've got a few tools kind of laid out over here. Of course, we've got the shop manual, and we've got some feeler gauges, getting ready with some of the head studs and thermostat as my next project. But basically, very simple tools, just a wrench, screwdriver, and feeler gauge to set the tappets. We've got our shop manual open up. It's very simple instructions. Of course, the interesting part is the order in which you adjust your tappets. And this, you'll often hear the rule of 9. So if you're adjusting the number 1 rocker, you want your number 8 valve fully open. So you add those two together and you get 9, and that progresses all the way down. If you're adjusting number 3, you're going to want number 6 fully down, the valve fully down, and add those two together and you get 9. So that's kind of an easy method to do it, or you can just keep your book open and do it that way. So in this case, number 1 is all the way here to the front of the engine where the thermostat is. So this is number 1. This is the one we're going to be adjusting. And this is number 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 1 are 9. So we're going to want this. So all of these all have play in them, except for number 8. It's almost fully down. But what we want to show, what's a little different in this case from when the engine is normally in running condition, is I've got all of these are way up. So a lot of clearance in there. So there's no way that they're going to already be touching. On a normal engine, they've already been set. So it's a very, very minor adjustment to get these valves done. But in this case, I'll be doing quite a bit of adjustment because I'm getting them into these push rods here, little tappets into the push rods. So that's where we are. I'm going to just kind of march through one here just for fun, and so I've got a wrench, large socket on the front pulley, and that's what I'm going to be using to rotate the engine. And what we're doing is we're kind of watching this one right here. That as I move the wrench down, that this starts moving down. If I move it too far, it'll actually start coming back up, which is what it's doing right there. So I'm going to back this off a little bit. You can see it come up, and then I will rotate it in the clockwise position, normal rotation, and we'll see that start to go down. And when it stops, which is right about there, then we know that I want to adjust this number 1 tappet here. So we've got our feeler gauge, and in this case, let me see if I can find my sheet. So this is an AC Dodd. We're dealing with the AC Dodd RT camshaft, and he on his fact sheet, we're a 1.3 ratio, which is a standard ratio lifter in this, which is what these rockers are. So they're a 1.3 to 1 ratio, and at that point we have a clearance recommendation of 0.014 inches, 0.014. I believe that the standard clearance, I'm thinking it was 12, yeah, 0.012 inches is the standard, but since we have a slightly modified cam, we're going to be at 0.014. And so when I put my feeler gauge in here, I've got, oh gosh, probably almost close to half an inch. This thing is really moving. So what I want to do is I want to start kind of cranking this thing down, and you'll see that the rocker starts to really start to move down as it gets closer and closer to that tappet. And I need to back this screw off just a bit. So that gives my nut, okay, so my nut is almost all the way down. This is just loose. And then I'll start adjusting. Let me back that nut off just a little bit more. There we go. So I'll start adjusting the screw on this end, and as I turn that down, it will start moving this rocker closer and closer to the top of the valve stem. And right now I'm just touching, so I'm gonna back that up just a bit. We'll give a quick check. So that's too much. Give it another little check. I'm getting pretty good. That's actually pretty good drag on that. You want just to drag a little bit. And then what we want to do is we want to hold that adjusting screw steady while we tighten down this adjusting nut. I may need to, there we go. So let me just kind of check that. Okay, that is just perfect. You can kind of keep a little tension on that on the back side. I don't think it makes much difference down there now, but we've got a really nice drag down there. It's just now, so now it's just barely moving. So that's exactly where we want that to be. That might be a little loose. Let me back that off just a hair. Let's go ahead and stick this in here. Let me tighten that up just ever so slightly. That's better. That's perfect. Okay, so number one is adjusted. So the next valve that we want to do is number 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the one that we want to adjust. And in order to do that with our rule of 9s, we want to, if we're doing 3, we want to make sure that number 6 is fully open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want this valve fully open. So we're doing number 6. We're doing the 1, 2, 3 is the one that we're going to adjust. So we're kind of watching this one right here just to see and we can see that it is, if you do this in order, that was actually bottomed out there. So let me back it back up and come at it clockwise again. Okay. And so we're watching this one right here, and we're watching it go down, down, and then it stops. So at that point that's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want to adjust 3. 1, 2, 3. And so this one, again, very loose. And when we do this, we want to make sure that these push rods are in their little, there's a cup on this end and a ball at the bottom of this adjuster. So each time we do that, we want to make sure that those are actually in. I'm going to wind this one down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's what we're doing so 1, 2, 3. Let me back that. Hold that adjuster. Let me just back that up just a little bit, because we're gonna need to wind this down significantly. So I'm going to at this stage, we're just going to wind this screw down, hold that down on make sure the push rod's in that little cup. Let's throw the screwdriver around the shop here. Here we go. And I'm just going to wind this down to the point that it starts getting reasonably close to the top of the valve stem. And we'll give it a test with our 14 gauge. That is a little snug. Let's back that off just a bit. There we go. Look. Okay, after I apply a little pressure on this end, I'm going to snug that up ever so slightly. See how we feel. That's good. Okay, so holding the wrench down, holding the screw stationary, I'm going to, let's see if I can do that with my finger a little bit there. Get some of that play out of it. Okay. I think that may have moved a little bit. Nope, we're still good. So let me just hold that adjusting screw, tighten the nut down. And we're going to check that one more time. Good, perfect. Okay, so that's the boring part of all of that. So I'm going to go ahead, finish adjusting all of the tappets, and we'll come back for the next step.